In this video, Simon Sinek explains that about rewards and asks what are we rewarding, and consider the people who best uphold our ideals and values first, and emphasizing that we all have the capacity to be leaders.
Recognition and reward is still important. It doesn't always have to be financial. It can be public gratitude, praise in public, criticize in private, that whole thing. Just want to point out, thanks to whoever for doing something in a large group. That makes people feel good, especially when we're recognizing and rewarding integrity and upholding values. I'm a huge fan of recognizing and rewarding initiative, for example. I'll give you a quick example. So when I was young in my career, I worked at a big ad agency, and when we have a new business pitch, it was the senior folks who do the pitches, and the junior kids are just assigned to support. This new pitch was going to be the first of the year, the beginning of the year, and so Christmas vacations were there, and all the senior folks left for their vacation, and the junior kids were left back because I didn't take a vacation. And they told us to prepare the war room, right? Which basically means hang the research on the wall, right? Which took an hour, and we had a week to kill. And so me and this other junior kid, we did the whole pitch ourselves because we had a week to kill. And they came back, all the senior folks, and we presented our strategy for this pitch. And they ended up using our strategy for the pitch, and we lost the business. We lost the pitch. We did not win. And I got a huge promotion. They moved me 2 levels up. And what my boss was rewarding was not the outcome, but it was my behavior. Because you cannot incentivize performance, you can only incentivize behavior, right? He understood that sometimes good leaders suffer mission failure, and sometimes bad leaders enjoy mission success. So when we only reward outcome, we're missing the behavior. And so I got a huge, huge promotion. Why? Because he wants me to take more initiative with the expectation that if I take lots of initiative, we're going to win more pitches. And so I think striking the right balance, extrinsic is totally fine, but the question is, what are we rewarding? Are we just rewarding the person who wrote the most tickets and made the most arrests? Or are we rewarding the people who are solving problems and upholding our values?
Recognition and reward is still important and can be financial or public, but it can also be public gratitude and private criticism. People are a big fan of recognizing and rewarding initiative, and when at a young stage in any career, striking the right balance between extrinsic and extrinsic reward is important. But the question is, what are we rewarding? And not just rewarding the person who wrote the most tickets and made them go viral. We should reward those who solve problems and uphold our values.
It's kind of like asking, I want to get into shape, where should I start? It's like, I can give you a long list. It doesn't really matter where you start, just start. We already talked about great leaders or students of leadership. How's your journey? Do you watch the talks, read the books, all the things like that? Who's your leadership buddy? Somebody who sort of willing to call you out when something goes a little bit awry or they disagree. How'd I do today? Was that okay? To have an objective outsider. Having a leadership buddy is really important, or a group of folks that you talk to on a regular basis about it. That's huge. I have a group of people that I talk to on a regular basis where we just call each other and talk about this stuff, or tell each other things that go right and things that go wrong. The stuff that I've learned just from them telling me stuff, huge. Empathy, practicing that empathy muscle is a big one, right? I said it multiple times before, which is trying very, very hard to replace judgment with curiosity. Catching yourself where you're immediately like, they're an idiot, they screwed up, they got it wrong, right? To, I wonder what else is going on, or I wonder what happened, or let me go on a fact-finding mission before I come to a conclusion, right? Those are things that are, they're simple, but they're hard, but you can do it tomorrow. The other big one is checking in with your folks. Like having one-on-ones and just being like, how are you? Like, tell me what's going on. Like, what's going on in your life? And I know, especially in a paramilitary organization, machismo, guns, all of this kind of stuff, but to have conversations that are a little bit raw, a little bit vulnerable, people have challenges in their lives. They've got kids who are struggling. They've got kids who are struggling through COVID. They've got family who's sick. All of this stuff comes to work, And having safe spaces and just checking in with people. One of the best chiefs that I know, every year he does a listening tour of his whole organization. You could just do it for your team. We has hour-long one-on-one conversations just to listen, not solve anything. What can, how's it going? How's the job? What can we do better? And he just listens. And it's this hugely cathartic experience, but he gets tremendous amounts of learning about what he can do better and what the organization can do better, and just knowing his people, like the names of their spouses, the name of their kids, things like that make people feel seen and heard. You could do that tomorrow.
Becoming a leader is not a myth anymore. All of you have to crack the code that is covering in layers of straps. The most important details in this video are that having a leadership buddy is important. Practicing empathy, replacing judgment with curiosity, having one-on-ones, having safe spaces, and checking in with people. Additionally, it is important to have conversations that are a little bit raw and vulnerable, especially in parliamentary organization. Retake. Additionally, it is important to have conversations that are a little bit raw and vulnerable, especially in paramilitary organization. The speaker discusses the importance of recognizing and rewarding initiative and how it can be done in a large group to make people feel seen and heard. They cite the example of a junior and senior kid at a big agency who presented their strategy for a business pitch, and the senior folks used it, leading to a loss of business and promotion. The speaker emphasizes that recognition and reward is still important, and that it does not always have to be financial, but can be public gratitude, praise, public criticism, and private criticism. They also emphasize the importance of rewarding integrity and upholding values. The most important idea is that it is important to recognize that good leaders suffer mission failure and bad leaders enjoy mission success, and that rewarding outcome is not enough to reward behavior. Striking the right balance between extrinsic and extrinsic rewards is important. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos, like this and please subscribe.